All right. I want to tell you guys about a decision that happened earlier in the week that's super important for workers. Tennessee Valley Authority had the largest coal ash spill in American history back in 2008. They had hired the Jacobs Engineering Group to help clean it up. And so these guys decided that it didn't look good for the workers who were cleaning it up to have hazmat suits on to protect themselves. That the reporters would take pictures and people wouldn't feel safe. It turns out they shouldn't have felt safe. They really needed those suits. 30 of them have already died. That was back in 2008. A decade later, the workers on average were not 78 years old. So that is an extraordinary death rate, and a jury found them guilty. 250 of them are currently sick and dying. My God. Look, guys, they killed their workers. That's not an exaggeration. That's not a hyperbole. They said, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So why don't you guys just go ahead and die, right? Did they know for sure that those folks were going to die? I hope not. I hope they're not that kind of monsters. Did they know that they were taking a much greater risk that they would die? Yeah, they definitely knew that. So that's why they were found guilty in a federal jury in Tennessee. So the next stage of the trial is damages, where each family has to prove that, yes, they worked at that site and that's what led them to get sick. But the jury's already determined that they did not take the precautions and they did it on purpose, etc. So the main reason I'm telling you this is because the next time you hear right-wingers talking about, I'm going to deregulate, man. I'm going to open up the economy, deregulation. You know what that means? That means, yeah, so next time there's an incredibly hazardous work environment, they're not going to protect you. They're not going to protect you. They're going to take away regulations that would protect your life and your health. So next time, 30 of you can die on that job and 250 of you can get mortally ill, etc. That's the whole point of regulation. You know what another word for regulation is? Laws. Rule of law. So employers are supposed to have certain protections for their workers, and if they don't, you have this kind of situation. So, look, when I do it live, I see some of the comments. I don't respond to them often, but some right-wing troll just said, jank fear-mongering again. Hey, Dick, they died. They're dead. You want to go talk to their families in Tennessee and ask if it's fear-mongering? Okay, there's 250 people in a hospital right now. A lot of them dying. You want to go ask them if it's fear-mongering or if it's real? A jury just convicted the company. But no. Some right-wing douchebag on the radio or on Fox News gets paid to lie to you and give you propaganda about how it's deregulation and how you have to risk your life so that the company can make more profit. And you go, oh, yeah. Oh, the company should make more profit and I should die. Congratulations. Does that mean every company kills their employees? Of course not. Of course not. And we run a company. And so... But does it mean that the government should have regulations to protect workers? Of course they should. What kind of an insane person says, no, if the company wants to let their workers die, it's okay. Oh, I know, the guy's on the Supreme Court. In fact, the last two Supreme Court justices, Gorsuch said, if your company tells you to freeze to death, you freeze to death. And one guy left to work because he had started going numb. He got frostbite. And he was going to go out and die. And the company told him, you sit there in your truck and we're not sending you help. So he drove home. And when he drove home, they fired him. And Gorsuch said, good. You should have gotten fired. You didn't listen. If the company tells you to freeze to death, you freeze to death. And Kavanaugh, in a case where in SeaWorld, where one of the workers was attacked by the animal and killed, Kavanaugh was like, no, they're not responsible. No, he's the only judge that ruled that way. Gorsuch, the only judge that ruled that way in the freezing trucker case, right? And why do you think they were picked for the Supreme Court? Yeah, Kavanaugh was partly picked because he'll cover Trump's ass and all that. But the main reason and they love money in politics and they love corruption. Those are huge reasons why they were picked. But the main reason is they will do anything a corporation asks them to do, including allowing their workers to die and not being responsible for it. So that's the situation in America today. That's the brutal situation that we live in. So thank God for that jury in Tennessee who said, yes, they are responsible. and at least there's a little bit of responsibility in that case. But for God's sake, man, don't believe the hype when they tell you, oh, we're deregulating, so eventually it'll trickle down on you. In this case, what trickled down on them was coal ash that poisoned them and killed them. So that's the reality of what happened there. All right, that's all.